Hello and welcome to this session of Sensors and Transducers. Myself Ashwini Patil from Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering, MVP's KBT College of Engineering, Nashik. In this session, we are going to discuss acceleration and vibration measurement. Now, what is acceleration? Acceleration is basically a rate of change of velocity and it is a vector quantity. Vibration is a periodic back and forth motion of a body from its equilibrium, and that equilibrium is forced to restore the position of the body. There are various types of accelerometer. Eddy current type of accelerometer is basically an inductive sensor, and it operates with the magnetic field. Basically, as shown in this figure, there is a probe. At the end of the probe, there is a sensing coil, and through this sensing coil, the alternating current is passed by using some driver circuitry. When this alternating current is passed to the sensing coil, it generates this magnetic field. Due to that magnetic field in the object, the eddy currents are produced, provided the object must be of metallic material. So here, that is the limitation of this eddy current sensor, that object must be of metallic material. This eddy current which is produced, it opposes the original field which is by which it is generated, and due to that the output voltage is the output voltage we get at the output of this circuitry, and that output voltage is proportional to the closeness between these two probe and target object. Now, eddy current sensors operate with magnetic fields. The driver circuit is there in the probe itself. It creates an alternating current in the sensing coil which is placed at this end of this probe. This driving circuit creates this current passing through this sensing coil. It creates an alternating magnetic field, and due to that magnetic field, these small current, which are called as eddy current, are induced in this metallic object. This eddy current creates an opposite magnetic field which resists the field being generated by the probe coil. The magnetic field interaction depends upon the distance between this probe and object, and so this output voltage can be calibrated for the measurement of distance between these two. The target surface, it must be at least thrice the diameter of this probe, and if this condition is not solved, then the output prone to be non-linear and special calibration is required in that case. This is the internal circuitry of eddy current sensor. All these things are there in the eddy current sensor probe. There are two coils. One is the active coil and another is a compensating coil. These two coils are placed in the probe itself. Now this sensing coil is placed at the end of the probe, which is nearer to the metallic object, and this compensating coil is far from the object, which is placed in the probe itself. This bridge circuit, it acts as a high frequency source. It feeds that high frequency current to the sensing coil. As the distance between the conducting material and the active coil decreases, more eddy currents are produced. And this causes a change in impedance of the active coil and thus imbalances this bridge circuit where it is connected. The output of this bridge circuit is given through the low pass circuit. The output is taken, and the high frequency allows a target to be used, and also with this the frequency response becomes good up to the target frequency of 1/10 of the supply frequency. Now, advantages of eddy current sensor. Basically, the biggest advantage of these sensors are that it can be worked in dirty environment also, and the material dust particles which may be present in between the gap of sensor and object material, it doesn't affect the output voltage. These are not that is, it is not sensitive to the material in the gap between the probe and the target. These are less expensive as compared to the capacitive sensor, and also these sensors are more precise. High frequency response it can give as compared to the capacitive transducers. The applications are for the measurement of vibration or acceleration in the mechanical industries. Disadvantages are these are not useful for high resolution, or these are not useful if the large gap between the probe and the object is there, and these are precise only if the gap between the probe and conductor is small. The device cannot be used for non-conducting material, and the non-linear relationship between the distance and the impedance of the active coil of the device is there. This device is highly temperature sensitive. It's a drawback of this sensor. It can be actually, this problem can be solved by using the suitable compensating coil. Now another sensor is a piezoelectric accelerometer. It is an accelerometer which employs the piezoelectric effect of a certain material to measure the dynamic changes in the mechanical variables like acceleration, vibration, and even mechanical shocks. This is a diagram for accelerometer piezoelectric sensor. We can see here the mass is there and spring and mass arrangement is there, and this mass, it applies the force on the piezoelectric sensor. As its position get changed, we can see here the output voltage also get changed. So acceleration act on a seismic mass that is restrained by spring or suspended on the cantilever beam. So this is a seismic mass which can be even mounted on the suspended cantilever beam. It converts the physical force into electrical signal. And acceleration, first of all, which is to be measured, it needs to be converted into the force or displacement first, and then it can be converted into the electrical quantity. This conversion is done via the mass spring system, which is shown here in this figure. This is a piezoelectric accelerometer. We can see here, this is the mass, and this is a preloaded stud, and here it is a piezoelectric material. By this mass on this piezoelectric material, the force is applied, or maybe the displacement can be applied by this mass, and due to the application of that force, the output which is generated by this piezoelectric material, it is given to this amplifier. Basically the output of this piezoelectric accelerometer is very low, and so we need to amplify it, and after the amplification, output can be taken and calibrated for the measurement of acceleration. The piezoelectric materials used in accelerometer, it falls in two categories, the single crystal category and ceramic materials. The mostly widely used are single crystal material, and we must have heard about the quartz crystal. This quartz crystal are single crystal and are widely used. The advantages are the long life, and disadvantages are less sensitive to than the some piezoelectric ceramics. These are the naturally occurred crystal, and so these are less sensitive as compared to the ceramic material. These ceramic materials are having higher piezoelectric constant, and so the sensitivity of it is also higher than this single crystal like quartz material. These are less expensive to produce because these are the artificial, and so it can be produced as per our requirement. For example, this ceramic materials example, barium titanate, lead zirconate, lead titanate, lead metaniobate. Disadvantage of this is sensitivity degrades with time comparatively. That means for longer life these are not suitable. The sensitivity of these sensors can be increased by connecting more number of piezoelectric materials, so that the output which we get, it should be the multiplication of the output by individual sensor. The material which are having good properties like sensitivity, frequency response, bulk resistivity, and thermal response, these must be chosen for these applications. It gives low output signal, and so must be amplified, and it has high output impedance. Impedance conversion ICs are there, which are readily available in the market. These are used in the package of these sensors itself. Now next is seismic transducers. When spring mass damper system is subjected to acceleration, as the structure is shown here, when these are subjected to acceleration, the mass is displaced, and this displacement of the mass is proportional to the acceleration. So by measuring the displacement, we can calibrate it for the measurement of acceleration. Here we can see this is the seismic mass, and this is the spring element, and this is a dashboard. So all these three work for the measurement of acceleration measurement. These are the springs which are used as a supporting, and this is the uh, target material of which we have to measure the vibration. The output, which is the displacement of this mass, it is given to this secondary transducer. It could be LVDT or some other transducer, which are the secondary transducer, which converts the displacement into electrical output voltage. The main part of the seismic mass accelerometer are seismic mass, which is suspended from the housing of the accelerometer through the through this spring. Damper is connected between the seismic mass and housing of the accelerometer. The seismic mass is connected to electric displacement transducer. This is a displacement secondary transducer, could be LVDT or some other. There are two types of seismic accelerometers: linear seismic accelerometer and rotational seismic accelerometers. These accelerometers are fitted on the structure whose acceleration is to be measured. Due to acceleration, the seismic mass experiences a displacement, and this displacement of the mass, which is proportional to the acceleration. As the mass is connected to electric displacement transducer, the output of transducer, it depends upon the displacement, and which can be calibrated for the measurement of acceleration. Hence, the output of transducer is calibrated to give direct indication of acceleration characteristics of the structure. This is how in this session we have learned the accelerometers. Also, we can use these accelerometers for the measurement of vibration. Thank you.